she know he hollin'. Bitch, that when I'm walking, extra steady callin'. My new bitch, Jimmy, know he fuckin' till the morning. They be saying that's my brother, way aloud, now it's down, I ain't convinced. Know they riding on the dick, cause Lobo poppin' like a bitch. Ain't had nobody out dolly every day, I reminisce. I had to do something to get rich, this shit go quick, we hit a switch. Had to get to it, man, that makes it not a nothing. Know that pussy wet and drippin', that shit bustin'. How you gon' fuck with me, you pop out of the sudden. Fuck 'em, I can't trust them, love me all of a sudden. Leave me alone, I'm fucking tired of this shit, just let me be. And I can love no bitch, but she know I'm a boss. Funny these bitches tryna act like I feel something, but they ain't shit nothing. Shit, if I like what you gon' already run it down, run it up. All you suckers faking love, I'm kinda done, had enough. Now they hear love, bro, name it about time, run it up. And I'm a fucking ticking time bomb, we gon' fuck it up. No shit, don't let them suckers know I'm ballin'. Me and my brothers moving past you, we you haulin'. Baby, take off my Mary Jean, I'm talking. Fuck until the morning, baby, know I'm dog.
Alright, I think everything's working out the way I want it to. It's very possible that it's not, but we will see how this is playing out. So, I hope everybody's having, as good as day as you can be having, you know? It's Wednesday, so I believe it's Wednesday. It might not be Wednesday. Alright, so my map, the Twisted series, yada yada yada, that did not transport over with the new update or whatever, update 1. So I figured, why not do one of the custom made maps? I'm working on one right now. I'm not going to do this one because obviously I got issues with it right now, but I'm hoping in the near future we can do something on that. But for the time being, I felt like this would be a great test or what have you. It's a small map. I thought about doing this one, but I was like, I'm good with that. But this one's a nice fun map. I've played a little bit on it, I've enjoyed it, so thought, you know what, why not? And we can just, chill with that. So real quick, we're going to be doing the Folktails. I'm more of a Folktails player than a Iron Teeth player, so yeah. But anyway, we're going to be doing Tiny Cliff map. It's 40 by 40, so there's a really it's kind of a slow draw map. And then obviously we got to do our hard settings because the game's not worth it unless you're doing it on hard mode. And then I'm just going to make sure that everybody can hear me talking, because it doesn't really, everything on my screen looks good, so I'm just going to make sure it sounds good. I think this sounds okay. What's up? I don't speak Spanish. No Espanol over here. I do apologize. Alright, let's go Beaver Town. We'll do this in a very original way. Alright, so map creator. Oh, you think so? Anyway, so map creator on this did some problems that I rose into playing this, just testing it out in my free time and whatnot. And as you can tell, this dude went all the way around with water sources. Now, the water sources don't affect us in any slight imagination of anything like that as far as coming onto the map. They're buried, so we're good there. But I will say it does present a problem when diverting this water source. that's where our issue is going to be coming, because bad tide, if we built up right here, it does not go off the map because of these water sources. So that is something that we're going to have to kind of remedy. I have a slight way to fix that. It's not necessarily a perfect idea of how to get through this, but it does help us out. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to be, for the time being, working on this base level down here because, well, guess what? We can't go anywhere other than that. So without further ado, let's kind of get into this. These are not going to be permanent by any stretch of the imagination, but we do need to get over here. That's going to be the primary source of where we're going. So for the time being, we are going to get what we need out of our way for this path, and then we can work on other things. So we will let this play. I'm going to come here and then get this going. I found that it's kind of important to pre-make, I don't know, a walking area. It comes in handy. All right, so we will also do that. And then while we have the beavers available, I am going to get these going so then we can really get this area taken care of, and in certain whatever. I'm going to put you like this. I didn't do this last time. This is a new one, but I'm going to try to do it differently than I did before. So we can all play with this. And then we can kick this into 2 times speed. What I want to do, yes, I can do just like that. And I'm going to try not to pause every 30 seconds. Get those and these, because we are going to need water as fast as humanly possible, and that will definitely do us justice. Okay, so I need you built before we go over here. Food isn't as important because we have the blueberries. I'm not really worried about those in that aspect, but I am worried about water. Water is that one thing that just cripples me every single time. So, need to be diligent about that. And then eventually we have a little bit of time, in hindsight, kind of a little bit, to take care of housing. Obviously we have the Folktails, so we do need to worry about building houses to repopulate everything. So hopefully we can do that in that kind of sense, because that does need to be taken care of. Oh, and then while we're working on that, I do need to go up to 18, because we do have to have, those are the amount of days I like to work, just because that helps that out. Then we're going to get these 2 going. Obviously, I can get rid of you. Let's pause you. Actually, it'd probably be beneficial if we actually planted something. You know, that would make a little bit more sense. And then carrots are the best thing that we can plant. just because they're fast growing, and it definitely helps with everything that we got going on here. All right, so we have 3 extra jobs. I'm not really building a whole lot, so we can come down on this. Let's get these going and cleaning out this area. Science is definitely on our radar of things we need. We are going to need storage. Oh man, if only. And we can make both of those water. All right, and then pause those. We don't need them. I'm going to make that a little bit of a higher priority. This is going to be a lower priority. This is maximum priority. And how many carrots can we hold in this? I think we can hold somewhere in the neighborhood of like 130 in here. So we will keep that in our back pocket. We have those. Why aren't you being cut? All right. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so this is going to be our main living arrangement for the greater future of time, just because, yeah, we need... All right, we got a drought approaching. This game is not going to do us a whole lot of favors, which is very unfortunate. For the time being, I want you guys to be the primary focus. Let's come through here. And we will deal with that in that manner. This is called Timberborn. It is a post-apocalyptic game where humankind killed themselves, and somehow beavers drank the red sludge and became smarter, and they're trying to build a world for themselves. And we go through cycles of having water and then not having water and then having bad tides, which is this, and it's very toxic to everything and everyone. And yeah, that's the nature of this game. Survival city builder game. Very addictive, very fun. And then obviously you got tech trees and stuff like that down here. You got wood, which obviously is a primary ingredient in everything. You got food, you got technology, you got metal, automation, which is part of the new update that they just added to the game. So good stuff there. Now we need to work on power. All right, so this is 50 logs, which we really don't have a whole lot of. This is 20 logs, but 2 beavers. And this is kind of beneficial to what we need. So we are going to do this. I'm going to make a plank, sawmill, whatever, get that going. Come over here, start taking care of this stuff. Get up here to start taking care of the trees on the upper level, because we're going to need as much of everything as we can possibly get out of this game. How much time do we have? 46. Boy. This is going to be slightly cutting it close to, oops. We don't need that playing just yet. All right, we will cut, how many logs do I need for this one? I need 10 and 7. All right, let's get him going so we can kind of figure this out to some degree. What is that? That's 30. We're almost there. We do have blueberries. We should be okay with the trees that we have. But anyway, once we get to 7 planks, we can pause this because there's no need to do that to ourselves. I am going to put storage right here. I'll make blueberry storage for the time being. That'll be kind of our safeguard. We have an extra beaver. That's not really going to be a problem when it comes to this. All right, we do have the logs for other stuff, but oh boy. All right, here we go. Max frustration. All right, I need to get over here, or at least up top, before I start thinking about building houses. And then once we build a farm upstairs, I'm okay with maybe this one going away. All right, we need one more plank. There we go. Let's pause both of you. Then come over here, unlock the forester. Just for the time being. We're going to let that get built so these trees can get cut down. How much water are we going to have? About 150. I think that should be okay for any length of drought that we have coming towards us for what we're about to deal with. Those are not ready to be plucked yet. All right, now let's get... Let's get those, and then just so we can get somewhat of a healthy acquaintance of trees, or at least logs. Because at this point in time, I need as much as I can get. And if we have to wait just a smidgen longer to go get some other stuff, then we can do that. I'm okay with all this growth because our first bad tide, that will kill that off rather quickly. Let's come over here, add a carrot storage just for future proof, just in case we need that down the road. I'll actually make 2 of them. Just in case, you know, you always need backups to your backups. But anyway, eventually what's going to happen is all the planting and everything that is right here is going to go Oslo Wega. We're going to use this area for different things. And having it be a farm is not on the top agenda. All right, we got 5 days. I don't need you guys anymore, so we can go about our lives in a different manner. It gives us 5 extra beavers. All this dies pretty immediately, which kind of sucks, but we don't really have a whole lot of other options at this current point in time, and this stuff is still not done. Youch mama, that's going to hurt. We do have a little bit of food. Let's play this, focus on carrots, obviously, because that's pretty much all we got. At this point, with the potato patch dying, we'll do this. I don't want to cancel you out, just this stuff. And we'll let that go. That'll give us a little bit of potatoes just in case we need it in the future. We still have 2 extra beavers. How are we doing on logs? Obviously, we are going to be a little bit in the 8 ball. What are stairs looking like? Those are 70. Slightly problematic. We can start fast forwarding through this just a little bit. Oh, that hurts so bad. I wish we got those planted just a little bit sooner. Did we use the logs out of this? Yes. I can get rid of both of you. Yes. Alright. We have all this. What to do? There's not really a whole lot we can do at this current point in time. One, we need more science. We're working heavily on that. I do need trees, but obviously we need water to irrigate our land, and yeah, so first cycle not doing too terrible. Obviously it could be better, but we'll take with what we got. Alright, so right now gaining science. The only thing that's kind of keeping us alive right now is the water up here that travels down through the blocks. Each one of these is a block, and yeah, whatever. So you get what I'm saying. Minecraft-ish like, and it travels down. And then we also have the fact that, let me go 2 more down. We also have the fact that these kind of stay hydrated a little bit, so then that helps with that aspect. But it looks like we have enough for what we are dealing with as far as beavers are concerned. What we are going to do right now is move these over here. Delete these. So they can move over here, come over to housing eventually once this starts growing in, so we can replace our beavers that are growing up, because they are not going to last too terribly long. And then hopefully we can get a little bit of a longer cycle this time. We got a 3-day cycle, or we got a 6-day cycle. I know we're on day 9, but that counts with we had 3 days, and then it gives us 3 days to prepare for whatever's coming to us. And then on top of that, we have to deal with however long this is. And then since we're on hard, we're going to start off at 5, and it's only going to get worse from here. I want to say cycle 4 is when we get the chance of bad tide. So we have to make sure our storage is on par. We have enough for everything and all of that fun jazz. All right, so we do have steps. I am going to unlock these. We're going to keep this in the good tide area because that is something that is needed. That's why I planted birch. Birch 7 days. We get 1 log. I know it sucks, but it's part of what we need. I don't know how else to kind of explain that part, is that we need the birch in order to kind of survive, because these ones take 12 days. Obviously that's a little bit longer than the birch, but we'll be able to get a nice storage from that. And then the next thing we're going to need is platforms. Obviously that presents its own set of issues, but we'll do what we have to do there. And then once we get some logs going, we'll be able to start at least shifting over here. And that's going to be the most important thing, is 1, diverting the bad water this way, so at least this stays somewhat green. You kind of want that, obviously, for obvious reasons. And then once that stays green, then we're able to grow everything like that. Obviously I would love to walk across here and get these, but I can't do that until at least we have 100 of those, and obviously we have no more logs. So we're kind of stuck right now between a rock and a hard place, but hopefully everything will remain as is. How much do we need for this? I need a log. All right, since we need a log for that, I'm going to put this here. I need 3 houses. Or I need 4 houses. So once we get logs coming in, and obviously once we build this up, then now at this point I can go pause you. I don't care about the beaver. Pause you. And then we can come up here. And then go all the way up here. How do I want to do this? Just so we can get these out of the way, I think I'm going to put 1 right here. And then we'll put 2 of them right there. Nope, I don't have the beavers for that, but we do have the beavers to take care of some of this, which is the whole point of everything. And then I can come over and then start taking care of all of this, which would give us a nice little bonus. Obviously we need the logs for all of that, and these will take their time growing, and we can then get our science points so we can cross over here without having to have that issue. Hey, I mean that loosely. I care without caring. They're a means to an end. And all these beavers right here, these 13, in about another 5-ish, 6 days, something like that, they'll all be dead anyway. So, obviously attachment is not strongly encouraged. Those are growing up nicely. How are we doing on that? Okay. Might as well duplicate you one more time just so I can make sure that we're going to actually survive this stupid stuff. Oh, I also wanted to look at one more thing, because since we did path it out so nicely, come over here. Loyalty can be bought and sold just like any other commodity. You can take that one to the bank. As dark as that is. You need loyalty, I get it. It's a fundamental building block, but most people will sell you out as soon as they look at you. Unfortunately. Alright, we can get rid of you. You're no longer needed. You did what you need. Oh yeah? Careful what you say. I might put that to the test. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Where do I want to be? There we go. Alright, we got another drought approaching. Like, okay, let's go hypothetically here, obviously. We'll do hypotheticals. Well, with my hypothetical question, if it isn't hypothetical, we got different issues. But if I came to you and I said X, and I mean X, just the letter X, I don't mean any hidden value in that, just person X, and I said person X is dead, and I was the one that made person X no more, and I came to you, I told you that, okay? Now 2 days later, police are now doing their job. They have followed the dots, they've connected all the dots. They come to you and they're like, hey, we have reason to believe, or however they do it in their investigational theories, we have reason to believe that you know what happened to person X. And you're telling me you would sit there and be like, I have no idea who person X is. Exactly. I know you're about 35 seconds behind me, so I'll let you type out your answer, but your loyalty vanishes as fast as the water vanishes in the Sahara. Just poof. So, I don't have any extra beavers. We have 6 extras that aren't living in housing. Science is looking abysmal. Wait a minute. Oh, we lost a beaver, that's why. Do we have logs? I might have. Yep. Let's make sure we're taking care of that. Just saying. Okay. Once again, yes, you never said I knew who person X was. Sure, you don't know person X. I'm not saying you have to know them. But if they come to you and they're like, hey, something happened, person X is no more, you're not telling me you're going to connect the dots? Come on now. Yes. Once again, you're doing something I do extremely well, which is I say the truth without saying the truth. And if you could do that, awesome. But at the same time, it's going to quash a lot of moral gray lines and ethics and all that other stuff. And it, like I said, they put the screws on hard enough. Guess what? You're going to sit there and go, oh, absolutely. You know, like, because guess what? You lie to the cops. You're impeding an investigation. You're doing a whole lot of bad voodoo that puts you in jail. I want to say you're getting in a gray area with harboring a fugitive, or, you're not being as forthcoming with information. I don't know. Because we ain't married. You can't hide behind the whole, now if I told my wife this information, then I think there is a gray area where you can be like, oh, well, he didn't, spousal, permissions and blah, blah, blah. Hey, we're talking about loyalty. You said your loyalty isn't for hire. Okay, great. No one paid you, but you're facing a dilemma to be either loyal to me or to go, you know what? I'm not going to jail for you. That's, like I said, that's kind of where that scenario ends. Now, granted, I will give you, this is on the more deep end of a harsher scenario, so I will grant that, but still saying there are scenarios out there that then put, okay, well, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you go, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, but if I went, like I said, in this scenario, if I went, yo, I killed person X, or I killed someone, or however you really want to put that into perspective. If I went and said, hey, X is no more because I, stamped them with a big X, you can't tell me that, even if you didn't know, if I was very gray or vague with the details and someone came up to you, you couldn't tell me that you're like, oh, that's what that, yeah, no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. Sorry, not drinking that Kool-Aid. Like I said, I'm also in the bad area on that, but once again, it's a very extreme scenario. So, like, it's one of those things that honestly, I don't ever think that I would, cross that bridge, like, it's not how I jive. So, in that scenario, yes, I'll give you, whatever, but also to be said, I don't care. Oh no. Obviously, we have trees growing up here. They're not going to be doing anything, but I can play U2 to cut down what we have over here. And then once we get this, well, I mean, like I said, it's not on my bucket list of any sorts. What to do. Don't do that. Yeah, like I said, loyalty's always for hire. It just depends on what you're loyalty to, I guess, is what I'm getting at. You can be loyal to your morals, you can be loyal to your friends, you can be a mixture of both. In all honesty, wouldn't blame you. But like I said, I just don't see it playing out the way that anybody expects in that scenario. That works for me. Yeah, the X told me the 2-1. Now I'm actually using a person. The X told me the 2144, and obviously she texted me when I asked, but she gave the impression that she was exceedingly ticked about I don't know what, but she has her reasons to be mad, I guess, for whatever. Free country and all that. I don't think I need... Yeah. VX, not AX. VX. The one, the only. Anyway, yeah. So, talked to her. She didn't... I mean, like I said, all on text message, so... There is some discrepancy, and ooh, that's not what I wanted to do, and how you perceive someone's attitude, but the overall gist was not happy in the slightest. Alright, I think we can pause both of you, and you guys can go get lives in other areas. No, I don't. No. You can take a hike, Cap. I mean, if you do, that's great. Like I said, I got one or two things that I want to try to do before I leave or anything like that, and then obviously I got to decide or figure out when the X, or not the X, but my youngest is coming over, and figure that out. And then once that's figured out, then we can go from there. But yeah, X not too happy. Going to have to drive all the way to Timbuktu to get her, which, I mean, obviously that's fine because we were having to drive out that way anyway, so shouldn't really be too big of a scenario there. I mean, you just let me know. I mean, I think the latest I'd be able to, or the earliest I'd be able to leave, no matter, even if you got over here at 9, would be probably around 12-ish. Obviously putting us there around 1-ish and everything like that, so... just because I learned from some of my mistakes, we're gonna do this. This map is very plank heavy. I need a lot of stuff and I need a lot of planks to make life happen for me, so we're just going to go ahead and kind of facilitate that need. Works for me. Works for me. I need 120 points. I also need a buttload of logs. How do I want to do this? Because at some point I'm gonna need... Yeah, we're gonna need to figure this out. I need 2 extra jobs, which I don't know which jobs that is, but we can kick you down to 1 because I don't think I'm building anything at this current point in time. And then you got all those going. maybe duplicate that one more time. And then we'll let that one go. And then we'll demolish this. And then we're going to demolish that. Pause both of those. You better not have gotten poisoned from that. Where are we at? Seriously. Oh, can we use you? That is awesome. Destroy all those because we are moving over. We need 2 beavers with jobs. We might as well facilitate that right here. Get them going. 120, we can then build these, which is what I need. Then we can come over here. And then we will build that in a future outlook. We got 6 days. That should give them reason to actually use the planks. And then we can come across here and do a... I need these taken care of first. Get 2 workers over here. I don't need planks or you, so we can then upgrade you guys. Let them do what they need to do. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm making a water wheel. So during bad tides or even good tides or whatever, we have a way to make power. So what I am going to do is we're going to come over here. Actually, first things first is I got to do this. And then actually I probably got to redo this line. Come over here. How do I want to do this? And we will do something like that. And then that way this will give us power. We can delete this. And that will make us a little bit better. Alright. Yes. Alright, you don't have power, that's fine. And then I don't need metal yet. That's for future-proof in metal and going about it on that route. And then we have almost 200 science. It's not bad. I think it would be prudent to do something like oh no. I guess we're gonna have to come down into here and figure this out like this. And do something like that with the pathway. Once my mouse decides that it actually wants to work the way I need it to. What is that? 250. That seems steep. I will do this, not necessarily how I want to do this, but it will make its mark for the time being. How many farmers we got? We only got one in there. And he's been able to keep up pretty good. We have 4 builders. I think we can go down to 2. I'm going to keep this here for now just because it doesn't need... Just in case. Is more or less what I'm getting at. Can I fit another water pump? I can. And then we can do this. How many logs? 12. Are you making any planks? Well, they're being used almost immediately. Alright, we have enough science for right now. I need trees. And I don't... Okay, we do have a guy up here cutting down trees, which is useful. Do you... Yes, you will make it over here. That's fine. That'll give us a nice boost over there. I think for the time being, I can pause you. just because these guys will help, but that is more or less because I think when we go up here, I do need gears. And if we come over here, that's 100. Yeah. I'm gonna let this work, do what it needs to do. We have 200, that should be fine. And this isn't going to stop anything from happening. This is just going to allow us to keep an exorbitant amount of beavers in there. And then once this gets built, then we'll start stacking housing up and then dealing with like getting bigger beaver resources taken care of. Because I want to say this one holds 300, this one holds 30. So we could probably get rid of all of those and build 2 of them right there. But eventually we have to get up here and then start moving the water, or at least the bad tide, which we are getting in 3 days. So everything is going to die. I need to make sure we are getting as much food as humanly possible. I'll put this down to 2. You need to be going. All right, I need blueberries. This needs to be the highest priority. And then let me duplicate this right here. And construction highest priority. I also want to come over here and make sure we duplicate this. I can get rid of these. I'm okay with that. Obviously, these are going to be highest priority. Want to make sure that those are taken care of, because all of this stuff is going to die. Everything is going to die. So I need to make sure we have as much water as humanly possible. That all needs to be flowing in here. I'm not worried about you. You don't need a job. Because, like I said, all this is going to die. We're going to have to replant everything. So everything that doesn't get replanted isn't necessarily the biggest or the worst thing. I don't think I need 2 of you. This area doesn't look like it's big enough and supporting that kind of thing. But we do have a low beaver count, which is helping us at this current point in time. We are going to have a buttload of water. So all of this right here minus 1 is how much a medium tank will hold. So need to keep that in mind. You are doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter about any of this stuff because this is all going to die, and yeah, everything's going to die. Trees, vegetation, anything that has been planted is going to meet its maker. So no need to worry about that. What else do we need? I'm not worried about, but I will do I will start building extra because obviously we're about to start pausing a whole bunch of stuff and then have to rebuild from there, which kind of sucks, but we will be okay. Oh no. All right. So if you didn't know, bad water is toxic. So if they touch it, they die. So once, actually, I might as well delete it now. There's not. Yeah. Yeah, so if you didn't know, yeah, bad water is toxic to the beavers. If they touch it, they die, all that good stuff. So I need a pathway that doesn't include them stepping into toxic sludge, obviously for reasons very apparent in the next 30 seconds. So we need to take care of that so we can get our beavers happy. You're full. This should be enough. $10 days. That's slightly problematic. But what I can do we'll move that in the future. Okay, the potatoes are there for extra security because that will be a tremendous thing that we need. All right, so I can pause you. Your guys are good. I'm pausing you. I don't need both of you to go. And then I can play you. And we're gathering science, which is nice. And then I can come up here. And then put this right there. And then once we collect all of this junk, then we will be working. How many builders do we have? Really? Oh, I guess we have 3 empty beds, so that would explain that. Alright, this is gonna be very close. Super, super close here. But what we will do is... Yes. Wow, that grows exponentially. Thinking. Let me get this all cleared out, and then we can go from there. This is not good. I will tell you that right now. Yeah, that is not That is not a good sign. I will tell you that much right now. Pause this. And get this taken care of. Let's take care of this. Yep. All right. We're in a bit of a pickle. We got 100 food left. Hence why I keep the population so diminished. Let's go down to this food. That would cover everything. All right. I'm just trying to see, because this area right here I won't be able to grow in. So I'm just trying to see if we put it in this area, flip it. I mean, that's 2 squares, but that's a lot of 2 squares, man. What about if we move this 1 inch close? I can deal with that. I can deal with that. How much is on this? 69, 52. All right, 73, 5 days. Like I said, I'm waiting on the potatoes because I need them to kind of take control there. Get rid of all this stuff. I don't care. What the heck is overflowing? All right. Do I need to build a pathway out to these trees? Because I will totally do that. What keeps flooding? All right, we're at 70. We have 5 days left. Water, we are excellent on. All right. Housing, I'm going to put you right there. That'll boost us up. That'll give us a few more people, a few more beavers, actually. And then that gives us access to over here, along with keeping water in this area. We're doing an excellent job on collecting experience points because we're going to need it for this. Do I want to spend it on this? Not necessarily, but we kind of have no real options. Let's get rid of all these blueberry bushes because they are all dead. Oh no. We can exit those. If they're still alive, why not, right? Alright. I can delete you. I'm gonna pause that. We have 51 days. We have 4 days. I need... I need these to be hooked up so then we can start cutting down all these trees. That's going to be muy importante. And then can't put it there. Well, we'll see. Because I don't care about over there. But if I do that right there, then that fits in perfectly with where I need that to be. And then we can come over here and I need to cut a swath. I don't know why that did that the way that did, but you know, shoot. Who am I? And then I need... do that, and then I'm just going to get rid of these blueberry bushes anyway. Don't really care. Sucks that that had to happen, but it is what it is. Pause you because I don't need anybody in there. You can be paused. I can come over here to storage. We will have carrots in here and potatoes. Alright, you did exactly what I wanted you to do, so we now have a nice range of motion here. That looks pretty. I can deal with that. Then I guess we can cut... I know, you're insensitive, I get it. Then let's cut down this side right here. You're going to be the last part to actually get cut. Exit that food group. I want to actually copy you right here. And right there, but I need you to be check marked, kind of like that. Oh, no. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to grill potatoes, and hopefully the 29 that we have is going to be able to get us through the 3 days, because if you look at this, I'm going to click on this. So 1 potato turns into 4 potatoes. That's kind of the whole purpose of why I was growing them, for that reason. So then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go just like this. And then we're going to do potatoes right there. I'm going to do potatoes right here. And then we are going to do wheat right there. And then I'm going to duplicate these. That was potatoes, that was corn. I need this one to be wheat. And then see, we got 47 food just off that one premise. So that was kind of the whole point of everything. And then hopefully that's enough to keep us going. Like, that's the issue here, is that we have a whole lot of stuff that we're needing to like kind of come across and get past, because this food's going to have to hold us until we get more. There's the problem. All right, so hopefully that will hold us. If not, then we ended it here. Actually, what we are going to do is I'm going to cancel those and then put a gather right there. We'll see how this works. And then we can get up here, start taking down these trees. We're going to build right I'm going to probably go one back. So instead of building on the edge right here, we aren't there yet, but build right here, leave this open, put maybe a pathway right there, and then block this up, and then have a whole huge line go all the way over here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How long do carrots take to grow? 4 days. Well, this should be interesting. To say the very least. But yeah, we'll pause everything that isn't a necessity, and then we will get those going. Oh, you kidding me? Yep. Died out from dry, whatever. We got 3. All right. High priority. How many beavers we got? I put 2 in there. I don't need you. I do need both of you pumping. Then I need to come in. Where is it at? And then I want to come in here. Probably should have done this during the bad tide, but... Oh, those are still alive. What? Why do I have to kill it? Never mind. Who cares? Then we come over here. And then... Hope to Jeebus. And I don't think I can plant trees over here anyway. I might as well do this as well. And then we can keep this going. And then that will do that nicely. Those are paused. Nope. Pause you. Do I need planks anymore? I don't think I need planks. We can pause you. Yeah. Start cutting those down. Oh no. Play those. I don't need you building. I do need you planting. One, two. Actually, I want this moving at 1x speed so I can figure all this out real quick. All right, so this is all planted. Pause you. You're planting those. Blueberries are the most important just to get that food. And come over here, knock all this out because guess what? It's all dead anyway. Let me come over here. Come over here. I want potatoes. I want carrots. And then yeah, that should do us for now. We got 2 things of food. You're already played out, so I can pause you, destroy you. Everybody has a job, that's fantastic. How much wood do we have? Not a whole lot. We are up here, so I can put a forester up here. And we can destroy... Oh, nope. That's not what I wanted. I want this button. And then do that. All right. How much? 13%. We're going to be pushing the envelope here, boys. That is for dang certain. Yeah, once we get out of this one, we should be all right. I mean, theoretically anyway. That's at least what I'm hoping. I can't say that we're going to be in a good spot, but I can at least try, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Oh, high stress situations, that is for sure. Alright, so we do have a little bit of food. Like I said, it ain't gonna last us a whole heck of a long time, but I can only hope that we can surpass what we're going through right now. 13 days. All right. Man, these beavers are making me hungry. Oh boy. And it sucks because we have such a small population. $45. Oh, geez Louise. We're done, ski. There's no way. There's no way. Absolutely no way. I don't even see how we're supposed to... Yeah, there's no way. Even with this small population, there's just... It's not feasible. Because we're already starving at this point, and we got 2 days left. We're going to have a day to, like, grow or pick these up. Oh, man. I don't even know. Don't even know. Yep, this is where this game takes everything you got. Yeah, there's absolutely no way that we survive all of this. I would like to say that we could, but I don't. I have my doubts. Yep, I don't see us making it. We'll see how we play it out, but yeah, there's no way. Yeah, we'll see. See how this plays out. We're already having beavers starve to death. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way. So I'm gonna go back to the game I was playing, and then we'll just play from there. Obviously, I'm a little bit further ahead, so you'll see the jump ahead. But there's, yep, that double bet. If we ended with instead of getting a bad tide, if we got a drought, then we would have been in a better situation. But because we got 2 bad tides back to back, it wasn't going to happen for us. So this is the map that I played, and this was what kind of got me the initial go ahead to actually do something on this map. Obviously you can kind of see the work that went into it. Real quick, obviously trying to duplicate this area. We're in the process of making something like this. I wasn't going to do it the exact same way. I was probably going to put more of our tree cutters over here than over here. And then we have, like I said, found this out the hard way, but you have to push the water this way and then down this area. So that's kind of where that went. And then I found out, obviously I'm on cycle 24. We're having some serious bad tides where like this was drying up, and obviously our trees stopped growing, which is obviously problematic, and you can kind of see how that goes about it. This is me trying to prevent the bad tide from coming over here. Not really working the way I wanted it to, but we are doing what we can over here. We have obviously a bad tide approaching. I've come in. Obviously, this is where we were pumping. I came in, gave us a whole slew of water. We're only at 35 beavers, which honestly is not that much. But we are doing what we can. I'm trying to keep as much water in here as humanly possible. We have a very tiny, pathetic aqua farm, I can say. Like, I don't even know what you call this, but yeah, it's an aqua farm. So, and then we have a sluice over here. It stops it, and yeah, and then we have a sluice right here that I have set to 15 to keep this water going. Now they walk underneath this, so this doesn't go all the way to the ground, but I'm in the process of trying to maybe do get stronger windmills up here and do something like that with that. And then I'm over here trying to do some type of power something or other with doing this, but like building up levels and then having it kind of strategically flow down and go that route. So then we can have, when we have bad tides, we can have a nice powered area, and obviously move a lot of this stuff maybe over here or on this side of the waterfall that we got going on over here. So this is what the map was supposed to be theoretically, but obviously the bad tide prevented us from doing that. And like you can see, heavily heavily, oh my gosh, what are these planked areas? So, but yeah, we're making all kinds of different food. We're doing a pretty good job on this, I would say, I think. And then this was my next idea because I need some sort of water storage, but the problem is I need to get from here to here so I can go up here, and that was the best alternative that I had, other than maybe like digging a hole straight down. But in order to do that, I need 2000 XP points, and I need extract, which I don't have at this current point in time. So obviously I made it to cycle 24. We have 35 beavers. Population isn't really booming a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? So we got to move slowly on this one. And then the reason why I backtracked is I was while I was playing this, I was watching a movie and I got distracted with like the end part of the movie, and so I was like, oh, let me watch that. And then a bad tide, obviously this bad tide hit, and instead of putting the floodgates up, I didn't. And obviously that led to problems. I think I have fairy logs. Yes, I do. I'll put that there so I don't have to worry about this anymore. So, like I said, in this one, I did come in and I planted those. I did come down here. We can actually go underneath and kind of see what we're dealing with here. I do have wheat down here. It was more of my goal to just try to get more wheat because at the time I had a stock of wheat coming in, and that's what saved my bacon during one of our bad tides or whatever. And so I was able to then take care of that. But yeah, a lot of this food ends up dying down here just because of, for that simple reason, and obviously it's problematic. So my original idea was to have the water flow from here into here and then flow into here, but the problem was since this one I leave closed so the water can flow off of these areas over here, then that obviously became an issue because, well, I need this wasn't getting high enough for me, and then obviously I leave the pumpers on to kind of drain this area down, so I'm able to then pull in water from said area. So, but I have a large underground water pile. This is my plank pile. I have somewhere over here gears, I think, metal, chestnuts. Oh, those are my fairy logs. I thought I had, maybe go down one. Nope. How many gears do I have? I have 40. So I have gears around here somewhere. But yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces around and making sure this water does not hold a whole heck of a lot of water. It's enough to like get us to last. Obviously 2K, 36 beavers, I think we're okay. Our max capacity is around 3,000, but I've been very, hold on, let me do some math real quick. Calculator. So we have a total of 36 beavers times 2 times, I think it was like 17 days. I need water. I need 1,200 water just to feed, water these beavers. So what I could probably do is pause a few of these. And then you're fully loaded, that works. Gears, I'm set on. We will demolish those. And then I can come over here. Get this taken care of. And the reason I haven't bought more TNT is mainly because the other TNTs you need to extract. So obviously that presents slight problems. We're fully loaded there. I do need to play you. Should play you. Is this built yet? I have 10 gears. I just need someone. Activate early. I'll do 2 hours early. And then we'll make you red. Actually, I'm gonna hold off on the activation early because I don't want bad water coming this way. It will severely destroy everything we got going on for us, so don't need that. All right, and then I can activate you. There we go. Let's name you Bad Tide Pro Protection. Yeah, that should work. What's up? How's it going? If you're watching me on YouTube, just remember you're 30-ish seconds behind, give or take a couple of seconds, but roughly about 30 seconds. So just remember that. Maples are full. You need to go back. Bread. Do I have cactus flour? I do. Let's knock that out. Your wheat flour. What about cactus flour? Let's go to that. Grilled chestnuts. How are we looking? Okay, let's go to grilled spatterdock. One should be more than enough to handle this tiny square. Let's destroy this. And then I need to play you. Because right now we're using a buttload of TNT. And it's obvious because once we're about to start building up there, we have the impenetrable floor. And we'll work this into it. But also in that same nature, I'm going to need about 3K worth of whatchamacallit so I can actually get this going. And we could probably end up putting our science thing right here. But yeah, that should work. I think, maybe, hypothetically. But, yep, that right there is our city in a nutshell. It looks pretty, it functions, and it does what it needs to do. Oh yeah, I did forget to do this. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Can I just, never mind. I can do stairs. and then we can do something like that. And then I can get rid of all this, and then basically my theory is using this, but like right here. I'd probably end up putting it right here, so then I could put planks right here and build this freely. Obviously it'd be like up here or whatever, or one yeah, I'd put it right here. So I need to see how far this went out, but it looks like it would be roughly right here. I wish these trees were gone, but anyway, that'll be a problem for a different story. What are we doing? We're doing cactus crackers. Do we have any cactus flour? We have a lot of cactus flour. Oh boy. I can't go down one there, but I can go down one here. I'd rather wait for this metal to be gone. But then at that point we're at an equal level. Yeah, that'll work. Dang, we ain't moving jack. All right. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Like I said, I don't think we can go down anymore, so we'd have to start building from here. And I think that that's manageable at the very least. I don't think power. Nope. Hence the problem I was having. Now, I could get rid of this. And if I got rid of that, then I could build in straight down from there. And since we're in a bad tide, that would make the most sense because... Oh no, okay, that was stupid. That's what happens when you don't think. High profile that. They should be able to build it from the bottom, but we're definitely going to need to start playing you because we're going to need a lot of stuff. And then there, now we should get the max. There we go. We're demanding 680. I'm gonna pause you now because we've gotten rid of that. How are we doing on food? Sunflowers. Obviously, this is my little sunflower spot. It's not something great or even special, but it's enough, and it does somewhat of us a little bit of justice, if that makes any sense. I can get rid of that. See, this has always been my thing, is when playing this game, in the beginning, when you have like the 5 days, obviously at this point we would pretty much be done with it because I want to say this was like a 17-day drought or bad tide. But like, I feel like the longer the cycles, the slower time moves. Not that time isn't moving, but I feel like we're on 3 times speed, and I feel like hypothetically we're like barely moving. I'm hoping this is making sense, because it's one of those like weird effects that I feel like is happening, but like I could be crazy to some degree, and that's obviously very possible. So we'll let that go with however you really want to take that. Because maybe I am crazy, who knows, you know, in some sense of it. So obviously I spent the first hour and a half playing a game that I died on. That seems to happen a lot. But obviously this is a little bit of a harder map, so take it for what it's worth. But this is still on hard mode, if that helps anybody's conscience. I feel like it would be kind of important. Wait a minute. I don't care if this goes underneath. I don't know if they can actually build over here. We might have to wait for like a drought of some sorts and then build down in here, but we can definitely impenetrable floors. Do that, so then that sits right there, and then we can start building up. Like I said, obviously we need to get 1,000 first, so I can put in. And we're out of water. But like I said, we should be fine because of the amount of water that we need for these beavers is roughly like 1,200. And then I don't think I've unlocked these. Nope, because I need 1.4. Obviously, gravity batteries would be highly useful in this scenario, but at the same time, I need things to get done here. So I think our best bet is to spin the science. I don't necessarily want to, but if we spin the science on this, we need 200 power, which obviously kind of sucks, but I don't need all of this stuff being played because, one, we're not using any metal. I don't need any gears anymore. We're not filled on planks yet, but that's the only reason why planks are still rolling on this. Alright, we got the 1K. Let's get this going. Let's get rid of these trees. And then now we can do this. Yeah, I didn't think so, but ooh, it fits. And then we might be able to stick one more in here. But anyway, this will help us, one, because then we can pause these two. I think I only got 2. I don't think I built a 3rd one in there, but I can play these. Obviously, I need to play him because we're about to go through some gears. Pine resin I'm not really worried about because we have plenty of that, obviously, due to these trees. So we have enough there. I need to switch you to maple so we can get the maple pastries going again. Where are we on bread? Bread we're still full of because we have a bunch of that stuff. Let's switch you to... I mean, right now grilled spiredog's pretty much all I got, but we can do chestnuts maybe. Planks, yep. Oh, that drained our battery really good. Alright, that should be fine. And then these two I can pause, because we're no longer going to need those beavers. But then, yeah, now we should start getting a lot. Wait, supply is that, demand is that. Yeah, that works. Yeah, this is looking a lot better. It's a lot of food though. I like that. Nothing's in there. I got one piece of that, so that will stay for the time being. We can come in here, get rid of that. And then my hope I don't need that going up that high. That'll work. There we go. And then this can be, we'll work this out. It's going to be a work in progress. I gotta figure a few things out. Ugh. Oh boy, here we go. Alright, so we got 1-2 days roughly until we go back to good tide so we can start pumping. Let's look at food. Sunflowers are always going to be low. Crackers is fine. How are we doing on... we will switch to wheat flour because we need to boost this up. And then obviously at this point we have enough to get power and get these. And then I'm gonna build this right there. I need to play you because I'm going to need the paper. Obviously for these builds, we're building 4 of them. That's just in the hopes of keeping everything going. In that sense, at least, anyway. And then I want to make sure that this is right, so then it drops when this becomes good tide. There's probably also a few other things that I can start doing as far as this stuff. And then I can pause you, wait, pause you, you're paused. And then I need all of you going because I need water. And then what I can do is get that going because I do want to start replacing a few of these with the bad water pump or the double pump or whatever, because then I can pump more faster and then we can start filling up some of these other tanks. I don't, hold on. Then high priority this. And I'm going to try to duplicate. Oh man. Alright. Get rid of that. Pick all of this up. Demolish that. And then once that gets destroyed, I will put this here, high priority that. Then we can path this out. I can get rid of all of this path right here. And then I can put another bigger tank right here. Come on, put the nails in. There we go. Let's get rid of, nope. All of this. Duplicate this. and then I can let that go. And then obviously we're down to 2400 water, but once we get this built, I'm okay with them building this, getting that built, taking care of that. How much is need? How many planks do we have? We got 1 plank. How much wood do we have? All right, we have enough wood to cover our losses. That needs a lot of gears. How much? We got 1 person in there. We got 2 people in there. But yeah, once our bad tide drought comes, whatever, then we can take care of it in that sense. If I need to, I can put a couple of other things down here. But I do want to eventually get to the spot where we are digging. Whether, I don't know how that looks, but I want to get to the point where at least if we lose our oak farm, fine, dig this down or dig this area down to some degree. I don't know. I haven't really put an indefinite thing on that, but we definitely need to get some sort of something going or dig over here so I can start building what I need to build over here for like more farmland, bigger tree area. Like that's the issue, is I need dirt and I need to start terraforming this area. But in order to do that, I need to kind of have a power situation. If I can get rid of all of this junk right here and move that over here, that opens up this area for more storage, whatever, and we can be in a much better spot. Gears, yeah, both of these are feeding this and they're feeding each other, so obviously that presents a problem. Put a topper on that. Awesome. Another bad tide. How are we doing on fairy logs? That's great. Come over here. I need 10 for 1, and then 3 beavers will pump, so I can get rid of these 3. I could put 2 of them in there and have the same pumping capacity. Now my problem with this is this thing is massive. So I could put it here, but I'm gonna have to, yeah. We'll let that go for now. Everybody's got jobs. We're doing our jobs. That's fantastic. How are we doing on this? Okay, so you need to come into probably bread, if I had to guess. You probably need to do grilled potatoes because we got a buttload of them. Yeah. What are you doing? You're doing wheat flour. That's full. Cactail flour is also full. Yeah. Well, we'll see how well this works out for us, because we will be dealing with a lot of water problems. Obviously, we got a lot of our stuff filled. Want this to be the highest priority for any of our resources. Obviously, we diminished everything, so everything's going into there. Papers, gears, you're almost done. You just need the planks. You just need the planks. And you just need the planks. So, planks are the #1 priority here. Gears are also being needed over here. We need 20 gears, and we pretty much need 100 planks. So, we'll let them deal with what they got to deal with. I'm going to delete. Oh, we need planks for this too. This is 1200, so this is basically 4 of those. If I could figure out a better pathing system. Alright, so that works. I don't know why I'm pausing. 17 days, so we just need 2 of those. I'm gonna delete these. And then I need to come over here. And then that would work, and then I could put 2 more right here. Alright, that should work out nicely. I almost want to put, you know what, for the time being, because we need it so... Oh, that hurts. That hurts on so many different levels. I can't put it there, but I can put one there. Because right now I need the extra planks. We have the extra beavers. That will at least help me get this going. Some of this going. I need these going so I can then replace the water pumpers. Obviously, I'm not too worried about it just because we have what I need as far as building one of these, minus the gears. But the gears are going to building this up. And yeah. 2,000. What do I need for this? I need another grand, and then we can start thinking about that. How are we doing on paper? Paper's fine. I can pause you because I'm pretty sure all you have your paper. Yes, all the paper's been dealt with. You can get to work. So now we're doing, how long does it take you? 1.3 hours for 1 log. Man, that is like some of the worst like conversion rates ever. 1 log, 1 plank. Everything else you have like going into like 5s and 6s, but the logs, like trees, they do not convert well. They are strictly 1-to-1, one, and it's abysmal. I wish it was better. Oh, I so need a new tank on my thing. Alright, I think we have enough. Water. Alright, I can get these. How do I want to do this? That's the question. Do I just want to do it straight off of here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. How do I want to do this? Maybe we build it from the ground up. And I think that that would be our best bet. What's up? How's it going? All right. Problematic here. How are we going to solve said problem? All right. Obviously, we're building a whole heck of a lot. I mean, theoretically, we could do that. Or we could do this. Alright, and then we could build something like this. And then go across like that. Alright, so we're going to build this from the ground up. So I can keep this straight in my head. Basically, we're going to make a super whatever power source over here. I'm obviously going to need to let stuff build up so we can do what we need to do. I need to come over here. Those are green. All right, let's path this out just in case these beavers are having problems with their identity of reaching this. They should be able to get to it from underneath, but obviously these beavers have problems, so let's just let them do what they got to do. Super Saiyan. Don't kid yourself. You watch this back, which I know you won't, but we died. So this is my personal map. Yeah, so we need to come over here to power, do that, and then we'll do this. Will you though? That is the question. Yeah, so at 1 hour 45. Yeah, that sounds better. So an hour and 45 minutes is when I decided that, guess what, we were going to die. So we made the executive I made the executive decision to just go, you know what? It's not time to die for us. So actually what we will do is I want to get this built Yes. And do that. Bam, look at that sucker go. I love it. And then have high priority on that. And then we can pause you. Actually, probably delete all of you. Not that we need more logs, but shoot, might as well. And then I can pause all of you. How are we looking on food? I need you to go to grilled chestnuts. I need you to go to cactus flour, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Planks looking pretty horrific. Obviously, we got things we got to do. I don't think I got this connected. It's okay. You don't need to watch it. Basically, what happened is we got a double bad tide. I don't even know if you're still there, but you probably are. Anyway, we got double bad tide, and then when that happened, life hit a pretty hard L, and then obviously that's what caused us to then have to do a backup plan instead of me restarting. I was like, I'll just pick up where I left off, and it seems to be working out beneficially to us. Kind of. All right, sweet. Let's get and then duplicate that. I mean, I figured as much. Unless you wanted to, you know, live at the church, I figured you'd have to do something like that. And then I don't think it's necessary, but if we wanted to duplicate that, we could not. Yeah, I'd have to do some weird stuff with that. So we should be okay with this, and then in doing that, all of this should, I mean, theoretically really fill up super fast, which is what we want in the beginning. How are we doing on this? Okay, build that. Okay, and then you need 40 planks, and you need 40 planks, so we need 80 planks. For the time being, I'm gonna pause you because we don't need that. How are we doing on food? Food's good. Cactus crackers. I don't think. We can do some grilled spatterdock. Well, that makes sense. I'm assuming we have some sort of event going on next Saturday. Alright, and pause you gives us back a couple of beavers. Obviously, we're not doing a whole heck of a lot with this. Everybody's working. I don't need a whole lot of gears because I need a whole lot of these. And then the problem with that is I'm gonna have to build one more. Nice. And then doing that. And then that. And then that'll give us a nice source of power. Oh, that's a nightmare and a half. That's so many planks right there. Alright, we are making paper, so that's good. I want you measuring logs, quantity, $850. I think that's right. I'm gonna wait for this to actually get built. We have no gears. Does this need gears? Yes, it does need gears. Of course it needs gears. Why wouldn't it need gears? I mean, that makes perfect and total legitimate sense. Alright, you know what? That sounds like that sounds like a whole lot of not fun. Yeah, that's where we're at with that. That sounds like boring stuff that would suck to all end. That's what that sounds like. If I'm being honest, that doesn't sound like fun at all. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to change out my coil because that tastes like pure nastiness. If I'm being honest. Alright, and then play you. Let's get that water a pumping and a flowing and back to full stock ready. If I wanted to, I could delete these two and put another one of these mega ones in. Wait, do we not have... Oh, no. Yep. Don't want that. I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm definitely happy right where I'm at. Alright, so I can get rid of you, and I can get rid of you. Go up. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are just excellent. And then... is this one also paused? Nope, just this one. I will get 3 new beavers in there. So we can build this up a little bit. Is this paused? Why is that paused? That makes a whole lot of sense on all of this junk. Alright, so let's do cattail flower. Let's get that feeling itself. Oh. Which one are you building? Alright, so paper. Nope. Paper. Yeah, we can pause that. I don't need any more paper. Yes, a drought. Never thought I'd be happy to see that. And then if we can get this stuff going by the time, I mean, I highly doubt it, but we can get all of these going. I don't even know what this is pulling in. So each one of those is pulling in about 100. This one's going to be the one that kills us right here. We might have to pause our whatchamacallit. I don't care about the road. 12, it's the planks. Go figure. Planks are the killer. Alright, we had 3 days, so it's given us 6 days to actually get all this stuff in. I'm hoping, I would feel like we should be able to get a lot more done. Oh, that looks so weird. I was like, what is happening there? That looks so weird. But yeah, if we can get... We need 11 more there, and we need a whole 40 there. And then we need a whole bunch of other planks over here. We need 36. Oh my gosh, that is so much. Alright, takes nothing but time. We might be able to get away with... Oh, once again, I'm going to need more planks, so we can build right here. Delete these two. Put in another one of these. Once we delete these two, I can get rid of this one. And then... actually, you know what we'll do? We'll copy that because I need another one of those. Be able to switch back and forth on some other stuff. Alright, how are we looking on potatoes? Potatoes good. Chestnuts. I can actually pause you two because you don't need to be going while there's other stuff going. And then if I wanted to, what we could do, not housing, this one, a builder's hut. No, we could put a hauler's post right there. Do I need to pause anything? I don't think I need to pause anything, but you two are back to having bad detail. And then if we can get this going, I'm okay with putting that storage right there, making this that while we tear down this. Eventually doing something over here. Obviously, I need to get my power figured out so I can start digging in some certain areas, but yeah. There's that problem. We got wind blowing. They ain't feeling it. Right now, I don't need those. I need, just to make sure they don't come back in there, I'm gonna pause that so we don't have to deal with that. You're probably also doing grilled spouter dock. I don't need you on grilled spouter dock. At this current point in time, do I actually even need... What? Hello? Is that what you were needing? All right, we're just going to gather all of this stuff. And I'm gonna play you, get those going. Yeah, I don't know what you're meaning by that. I'm assuming that's some sort of butt text. Right now I don't need gears. I need planks in a major way. But I am thinking this right here, plus this and all the other stuff that we're doing and making, I would assume we would be able to... Right. Yeah, that's you with your all wisdom technology. Anyway, so I'm assuming this can feed all of us, and we can just leave that, and then I can come down here, delete all this, and then come in here and figure out what I need to do about that. And then we can get rid of that. That's the whole point there. But like I said, my main objective is to like start getting rid of some of this stuff. What are you waiting on? Oh. You can still pass because it's connected. Maybe you can't. I don't think we have any. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to trash this. I'm going to build this. Yep, there we go. I'm going to high prioritize you. Oh, we can normal bad protect, and then I'm going to normal blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? And then we're going to rebuild this. Because basically when a bad tide comes, we have a minute, obviously, before anything bad happens. So we'll be able to collect a little bit and get that going. But yeah, I didn't realize I needed that stuff, even though it's in the recipe. So, oops. How are we? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's why you like the... Okay, build that so I can start deleting some of this stuff and we can get a lot of this stuff back. Alright, good deal. That's fine. And then power. I'm pretty sure. Thin line. Yes. I'm pretty sure I need to keep these. Maybe not. Yes. Actually, we're deleting this anyway, so... And that stays there like that. And then we come over here because I need power. And then, of course we do. And then I need to do impenetrable floors right there and there. Power. Just like that. And then we should be able to I have to be able to get down here. Yeah, I need to get all this stuff, and then that'll give me access to build all of this stuff. And that's fine. We can come out all the way over here. And I need impenetrable floors, get all this taken care of, because then we'll build one more right there, and then from here we can then go up. Yeah. Yep, that's how that's going to go down. Get that going. Obviously you guys can't see, but over this direction I got another monitor, and from here it says it, what it looks like JD says is, it said, it looks like DICK instead of click and send. Funny. Anyway, just a little haha moment. Alright, good deal. How much are we getting? 8. Okay, I can deal with that. That's powering up all this junk too. Max priority over there. We are gathering this stuff over here, which is excellent. Food, grilled spatter dock. Have one of you do that. All right. Good deal. All right, we're collecting what we need to collect. Now I need all of this being built. This and that and that. Because if this gets built, then we're in great shape. If it doesn't get built, then we're going to have to wait until our next. Your phone's broken, dude. And it's because you got an Android. That's exactly what's happening here. Your stuff's broken. Alright. Let me have you focus on wheat. And then I need you to focus on wheat flour. How much are we doing on wheat flour? We're at 56. All right, that'll give us a little bit of room. 130, maybe a little bit, not much, but all right. And then 2 to 1, awesome. We're getting scrap metal. Obviously, it has to come in from all the way over here. right now we'll prioritize that by hauler. And then I want to prioritize this by hauler, and I'll just put that down. Like on YouTube, it pops up saying, say hi. I guess that makes sense. Need to pause both of you. That'll give me some workforce. You can go back into there. Do that. And then I can play 2 of you. Alright, and then that should help out that. And then if we come in over here, nope, this one. I'm assuming it would be somewhere right here. And then power like that. Obviously, I'd need that maxed out. Well, listen to it. Say hi. Tried to get TikTok working, but it didn't want to play ball today, and I'm like, you know what? It would have been hilarious if that were the case, because then you could have sent me roses again. Not that you need to, but you get the idea. Just so I had something to, you know, send to my wife and make her, you know, super jealous, because she's off having fun in Wonderland and I'm stuck here. Not necessarily stuck here. I'm enjoying life as much as someone can enjoy life. But she has been ignoring me. So dealing with that slight rejection. All right. Planks are on the uprise. That's fine. That's what we wanted. We're eventually going to have to do this over here, but like I said, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the spot. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 11. I'll put it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. 1. Oh my gosh, I can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And all right, and then I need one that will go over this. No, not 6, 7. We don't do 6, 7 here. Then we do this. Nope. Oh, no, no, no. Actually, we might be able to get away with one. Maybe. Theoretically, not one. So 2 it is. And then if we do 2 here. No. Seriously? Not cool, man. Not cool. Alright, so 3 is where we're at. And then technically it's 4. That is so high though. Okay, I just want to see, let's do it this way. Alright, so we do 1, 1's too short. We do 2, still too short. We do 3. That is just redonkulously high. Like, that is so high. Alright, whatever. I just think that's a little over the top. And then go across like this. And 3s. And then impenetrable. Nope. And then, actually, we can build this. And then if I do this, nope. I need that to be a 1. Like that. Oh no. All right. All right, so oh, I hate doing math like this. That drops down 1. So I think it's the same height as that, right? Well, that goes up 2. So if we did 2, and then we did 3, that should be the same height. Yep. And then we can come over here to the 2s. And then I think if we did that, there we go. Oh my gosh, good thing that wasn't complicated. Oh. And then I need to see how big these power wheels are. So I think we could put these right here. Put on this side. Yes. And then we can put these like that. And then I can do a platform here, and then we can do whatever you called it there, and then obviously that'll work, and then we'll have power. How many of these can we do? Okay, so theoretically 3, 4, we're at 11. So we can go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be another one. So we still have flow going this way at the top. So flow, then drop, flow, then drop, flow, then drop, flow, then drop. Should give us way more power than we'd ever need. And then over here, we will be able to build some sort of stupid whatever. I'm assuming, I'm hoping, or we could put it up here at the top because we are going to have power coming off over here. Oh boy. That's a whole mathematical conundrum that I'm not ready to be a part of. But that's a lot, if I'm being perfectly honest. And then automated by source counter. Copy those. There we go. Obviously, that's going to be so many planks, and we're going to have our work cut out for us, but it is what it is, and obviously we have to get our bigger builds going and everything like that, so... But then, because, like I said, at the top, we're going to be coming straight off into it. It will flow through, let's just say 4 wheels, drop down, go back this way through 4 wheels, drop down, go through this way 4 wheels. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just hoping it leaves off here. So 1 will come this way, 2 will go back, 3 will go this way, and then 4. So we might only be able to do 1 more. Or when I say 1 more, we'll do this one and then go up to the next one and then just have to button it up into here. And then that'll be 12 wheels. That should be enough power for us. At least I'd hope it would be. Alright, but this is obviously going to cost us a... Sorry about that. Not my cat. This is going to cost us a lot of planks. Oh, hold on. We're about to kill ourselves. $4,200. There we go. That's fine. That's 6. That's 10. Oh, I think I have one extra. How much metal? Oh yeah, we got plenty of metal for this guy to run off of. Yeah, that's totally fine. We got, oh, and then we have these two guys going, which is something we don't need at this current point in time, which is fine. And then how are we doing on bad tide? That's fine, because both of these guys are paused. Yeah, we could dig a hole right here, have another thing, get the dirt, obviously, start planting, building a second area up here. How are we doing on everything? I need you on that. What are you doing? Grilled potatoes, that's fine. What are you doing? Maple pastries. I need bread. Yeah, not bad. Obviously, we need to get a lot more planks going. Supply 14. Dang, we're only using 600 of it. Alright, I think that will do it for today. I just kind of wanted to get back into the live stream just a little bit and mess around. I haven't, like I said, I just picked this map because one, I wanted to do a live stream and just see what would happen. Obviously, I feel like it was a good live stream, so we did die, but yeah. So I just wanted to get back into it because live streaming and making videos are two different things, and obviously doing two different kinds forms of content. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will try to make this a more regular thing. It won't be on Wednesday. Wednesday was just more of a better day, better fitting day for me. So usually it will be on Saturdays, but like I said, I wasn't doing anything today, and I'm pretty caught up on everything that I'm doing on YouTube, so just wanted to kind of mess around and see what happens and all that other stuff, and see who would talk and all that fun jazz. But anyway, I will catch you guys on the next video or live stream. If you're on Twitch, check me out on YouTube. Got videos. If you're on YouTube, then, well, you're already there. So yeah, I will catch you guys later, and enjoy the rest of your night.